What does it mean that countries must negotiate before bringing a case to the ICJ? Unlike other negotiations controlled by the Taliban, negotiation under CEDAW would focus solely on restoring women's rights. When countries are required to negotiate before bringing a case to the ICJ, they must make a genuine attempt to resolve their dispute before turning to the court. This requirement helps ensure that the ICJ's limited resources are reserved for disputes that cannot be resolved through dialogue, and demonstrates that the issue is serious enough to warrant the court's intervention. According to the ICJ jurisprudence, a country must provide evidence of real efforts to engage the other party in resolving the disagreement. A theoretical attempt is insufficient. There must be proof that negotiations failed, became futile, or reached a deadlock. Additionally, the negotiations must directly address the subject matter of the dispute, in this case, CEDAW obligations regarding women's rights in Afghanistan. Unlike broader negotiations such as the U.S Taliban Peace Deal or the UN-led Doha Meetings, where the Taliban controlled participation by insisting on the exclusion of women and the removal of human rights from the agenda, negotiations under CEDAW would focus specifically on restoring women's rights in Afghanistan. The countries initiating the dispute are expected to demand that violations under CEDAW be resolved and restrictions on women be lifted. The Taliban can choose whether to engage in these discussions. If the Taliban refuse to participate, the applicant countries can still fulfill the negotiation requirement by acting in good faith, meaning they must make a genuine effort to resolve the dispute. In such a case, the process can proceed to the next procedural phase, organize arbitration. Logistically, negotiations can involve an exchange of diplomatic notes outlining the dispute and seeking responses, potentially culminating with in-person meetings. The ICJ has accepted that this requirement can be met through written exchanges alone or with one or two meetings. If positions remain unchanged and negotiations clearly cannot resolve the dispute, the ICJ will likely consider that the negotiation precondition under CEDAW has been fulfilled.